Hello again, this is the Atari Collector here with another Atari 7800 video, and the game that I chose to present this time is called Pole Position 2. I do believe that this game was originally included with the Atari 7800 system whenever it was released on the market, so this is basically the game that Atari used to try to sell its systems. It is a pretty fun game. Not a whole lot to it, but I do find it to have good replayability and certainly enjoyable. Let's get to the instruction manual. It reads, "High performance racing at its best. Are you good enough to race with the best? Do you have the nerve and skill to be a professional race car driver? Pit yourself against the clock in the competition, the world's top high-performance Formula One racers, and let's find out. Choose among 4 race courses. There's the easy test course. On the Fuji track, you'll encounter some obstacles, billboards, puddles, and other cars. The seaside track is the intermediate course, set in a landscape by the sea, and the Suzuka is the most difficult of the tracks, set in the midst of a traveling carnival. So this game consists of 4 races, as you see there on the screen: Test, Fuji, Seaside, and Suzuka. And that is the entire game. Further, the manual reads, "Drivers, start your engines. Insert the Pole Position 2 cartridge as explained in your 7800 ProSystem Owner's Guide, and turn on your system. Plug a controller into Jack 1. So I've already done all of that. The 4 tracks are listed on screen, 1 in each corner. Move the joystick in the direction of the track that you want, or press the select key. The name of the track you choose will blink. The first lap in a race has a maximum time limit of 75 seconds. Each race has a total of 5 laps you must complete. You begin a new lap with an additional 60 seconds to complete it, only if you finish the previous lap in the allotted time. When you're ready to qualify for a race, press either fire button. Once you've qualified, the race you've selected begins in a matter of seconds. If you're in the middle of a race and want to start over, press reset. Pressing select will return you to the screen where you can choose the race you want. Press pause to pause during a game. Press it again to resume play. After a pause of 15 to 30 minutes, the screen will go blank. Simply move your joystick and the game will reappear." And then the next section is maneuvering your racer. Steer your racer by moving your joystick to the left or right. Press the left fire button on your controller to accelerate. Press the right fire button to brake. Start out in low gear by pulling back on your joystick. To shift into high gear, push your joystick forward. So this game doesn't have an automatic shift option, so if you want to go into the highest gear, you push up, otherwise you're in the low gear, and you can see there at the top of the screen it reads high and low. That lets you know what gear you're in. There's only the 2 gears, so shifting isn't really a problem, even for those that aren't used to having to shift and usually set it to automatic in other games. The qualifying section reads, "Before you can compete in any of the races, you must qualify for one of the 8 starting positions. You have 120 driving seconds in the qualifying run, but must achieve a lap time of 73 seconds or better to qualify for a race." So basically, whenever you start a race, you just have 1 lap, and if you don't finish it in 73 seconds, you ride it out until the 120 seconds are over, and then you're done. Whereas if you do if you do complete the first lap in under 73 seconds, then you get to go into the actual part of the race, which consists of 5 laps. And then your goal is to try to beat all of the racers, or actually it's to try to complete all laps and see how high of a score you can get. When you qualify for the pole position, you're given the prime starting position in the inside lane. This is the pole position. If you don't qualify, you'll be allowed to continue driving for the remainder of the 120 seconds. So for those who aren't too familiar with racing lingo, pole position means that you get the starting position, the one that's in the foremost front of the line, on the inside part of the lane, to start the game. So that's the reason for the name of the game, the pole position. Go for it. If you hit another car, you and the obstacle you've hit will explode, costing you precious time. You'll also wipe out if you run into a road sign. Hitting a puddle will slow you down considerably. No matter how many times you crash, you'll receive another car until your time runs out. Try to keep your car on the road. You lose time when you drive off the track. Skidding also causes your car to slow down. Gun it on the straightaways. If you find yourself going too fast, downshift for the difficult turns." And then it talks about scoring. Every lap traveled is worth 10,000 points. Each car you pass is worth 50 points. When you finish the race, each second of time left on the time clock is worth 200 points. And then it says bonus points. The chart below lists the qualifying lap times for the 8 starting positions in the race, and the number of bonus points awarded for each qualifying time. So no matter what track you are on, 1, 2, 3, or 4, if you complete the qualifying lap in 58.5 seconds or less, you get to start the actual race portion in the pole position, and you also get 4,000 bonus points. So 58.5 seconds is basically your goal that you want to get on every single one of these. The first track, I can do it on the first and second track pretty easily. Usually can't do it on the third track, and I don't think I can ever get it on the fourth track, Suzuka. To be honest, I have never even completed the entire race of Suzuka. I have to admit that it is a very hard track. There was one time that I played this game for maybe 2 hours straight, and I think I made it to the 5th and final lap, but I ended up just missing it and dying, so I wasn't planning to practice my butt off and see if I could actually finish it for this video, so I'll just go ahead and try to do my best on that lap. So with that, let's get to the actual gameplay. So it's a simple game. Basically, the game considers each track an entire game in itself. So you just start off one of the races. I'm going to go ahead and start on the test track. And this race is nice because there's only left turns. So it's basically a big circle or oval. And you see I did it in less than 58.5 seconds, so that means I start the actual race in the pole position, or in first position. So now this is a real race with other racers, a lot of other racers. In the first track, there's only a couple race cars that you have to worry about dodging. And it's not about placing first, second, or third. It's just about, can you complete all 5 of the laps, and how fast can you do it, and how high of a score can you get. So it doesn't actually keep track of whether or not you place first, second, or third at the end of each of these races. So it's a little different than most how other race car games are set up. This game is all about getting a high score and just completing all 5 laps of the main race if you can. And what I've discovered is that if 2 cars if it looks like you can barely fit in between 2 cars, do not try to do it. The hit detection in this game is not forgiving at all. If it looks like you can barely fit, you actually cannot fit. So even though the instruction manual said don't veer off the road to avoid cars because it slows you down, there will be many times where if it is packed tight on the road with cars, basically the only thing you can do is very quickly get off the road to get around them and then get back on the road really quickly. Because the one thing that's guaranteed is that these cars will always be on the road. They will never get off the road in that area where you can drive. Even though it slows you down a bit, you're safe from crashing into them. Of course, you have to worry, is there a road sign as I'm pulling off the road, and am I going to crash into the road sign? So you can crash into other cars, you can crash into the road sign, and you can run over water puddles, which just slow you down a little bit. Basically, crashing slows you down a lot. So even if you have to slow down a lot, even if you have to pull off the road and get slowed down a good bit, do that instead of risking crashing into a car, because the amount of seconds you lose if you crash into a car and die is tremendous. Maybe like 10 seconds. And there's really no reason to ever push the brake button. The controls in this game are actually rather good. They're pretty responsive. If you let go of gas, you slow down enough. If you have the courses memorized and you know what turns are coming up, you can always anticipate the turns before they happen. So I really think that the best way to get through the game is to try to hug turns really quick. Allow the fact that whenever your car gets off the road slightly, that slows it down a bit to help you make really tight turns. Use that to slow you down a bit rather than hitting brake or letting go of the gas. So there I scored 74,550 points. And basically I could play this race over and over again to see how high of a score I can get, but I just want to show you all 4 races, so let's move on to the second track, the Fuji track. And again, 58.5 seconds is my goal on this first lap if I want to get the pole position for the actual race. Plus 4,000 bonus points to start off. And I beat it by half a second. So I did get the 4,000 bonus points. See, there it looked like I could fit through. I guess I did nick him a bit, but I shouldn't have even risked it. I should have just veered off the road altogether. And now it's looking really bad. If I want to finish this race, I'm going to have to be flawless from here on out. Oh, can I make it? I did complete the race. See, I consider if you can beat all 5 laps, then you've beaten the race, and if you can't, then you've lost. Other than that, it's just about high score. So basically, your goal is, can you finish all 5 laps of the main race? So I beat that one. My score wasn't great. You can see that earlier today I got 70,000, about 3,000 more points. But at least you got to see the whole track of the Fuji. Now we'll go to the seaside track. This one is hard. I'm going to just try to focus and see if I can finish the whole race. See, I got 1,400 points. If I took second, I would have got 2,000, and then the pole position is 4,000. I don't think I've ever gotten the pole position on that one. But third place isn't bad. It's a good place to start off. Oh, you've got to be kidding me! I don't think I have any chance of finishing this race. Yeah, they blocked me out. There was no way. And now, it's just being a punk. So yeah, earlier today I did finish the race. I got 67,900 points. That was the seaside track. Didn't beat it that time. And now I'll show you the final track, which is the Suzuka track. I have never finished all 5 laps, and I didn't practice a whole lot, so this is going to look even more pathetic than what you just saw. Hey, I qualified. That's good. Now, I don't know, maybe I'll get 2 laps if even. Nope. How about I try race 3 and then 4 again, and then we'll say that's pole position 2. Wow, I made it. I should not have even risked going in between them, and somehow I made it. You've got to be freaking me! I mean, it's unfortunate that that circumstance came into my... Alright, time for more torture to myself. The cars crowd the road so well on this track. I have no idea what I'm going to do here. There! I could not have made it through them. I was just screwed. Hey, I made it. So, despite what you may have gathered from my reactions while playing the game, I actually enjoy this game a lot. As you can see, it offers a good level of challenge, especially courses 3 and 4. 3 is basically an all-around great course. It offers a good level of challenge. There's good reason to try to play it again for a high score. 4 is getting more on the hard, expert side. The more you play it, the more you want to throw your controller on the wall, or just punch something, insignificant or defenseless. But the fun factor, I mean, it's there. The cars that you come across are random, so as you play the game, even though it's only 4 courses, the cars that you come across as you're driving along each course seem to be randomly placed, so it's like a different experience each time. It requires really skillful driving, good reflexes, and just planning. It does help to memorize each and every turn on each and every course that's coming up, so that when you're seeing these random cars coming at you and you're avoiding them, you can also adjust how you're going to move in relation to the turn that you know is coming up. If you don't know what turn is coming up and you're just trying to react to the turn and the random cars, then you're going to be in a whole heap of trouble. But memorizing the course definitely does help, and that's one of the reasons why I had no chance at the 4th course, because I did not memorize it today like I had with the other ones. But even the 3rd course gave me troubles, even though I memorized all of the turns that were coming up. So it's a fun game. You did basically see everything that it has to offer. Again, the main goal is to just, can you complete all 5 laps of the main race of each of the 4 tracks? And that's pole position 2 for the Atari 7800. Thanks for watching. This was another video presented to you by the Atari Collector.